I wanted to come on tonight and talk about the similarities between near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, and universal spirituality or universal religion or oneness, from my own understanding. I am not an expert. I'm a student, and I share with you my experience and my observations and my failings and all of that. So what I wanted to talk about was over the last 50, 60 years, near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences have become more frequent. They used to happen, every once in a while, but now they're happening more and more. And people are coming back, telling these stories of unbelievably deep, compassionate understanding and love and joy and bliss. And they also come back with a life review. Some of them get a chance to review their life, but there is no judgment. It's them observing what they learned this lifetime and understanding different perspectives rather than from their own ego. They're understanding why, and questions are answered, and they're looking back and seeing how their actions affected other people, and understanding that is connection that is important to pay attention to, because thoughts are things. They are living forces. We must choose them wisely. They're also coming back with a sense of a brighter, liver existence, that this earth is kind of two-dimensional. It feels, colors are dull, sounds are not quite as glorious. They always say they feel like they're home, and they feel like they are connected with all beings, and they feel a oneness and absorbing into, I get goosebumps when I talk about that, and absorbing into the awareness of oneness, of being connected to all, and a sense of belonging. And it is such a beautiful experience when they come back with this oneness with all beings, and they have no fear of death, and they're not worried about the small things anymore. They come back, and these authors are on tour, and they're writing books, and they have all these amazing stories, and people are even doing PhDs on NDEs, and they're putting these things together. And then what? And then what happens after that? A lot of people go back and they go, some of them go on their religious paths. But some people go, well, what happens now? How come if I don't have one, then what? Well, I've been finding in my studies, I'm a student of Theosophy, but that's not the only way. Okay. Theosophy means theos, God, Sophia, wisdom, the wisdom of God. This is as old as time itself. It goes all the way back to ancient Greece, ancient Egypt. These teachings are older than Earth, and they talk about everything, the macrocosm, the microcosm, talking about the universe and the universe within and the divine spark within. So you can go back and study the Kabbalah, and you will see these puzzle pieces start fitting together. You can study the Torah. You can study the Zohar. You can study the Quran, the Sufi poet Rumi. You can study the Christian Bible. You will see similarities in almost all of the world's religions. There is a foundation that they seem to be built on. And nowadays, what's happening now, we're seeing so much division, so much suffering because of the separation of religion. So what I'm going to say may make a few people angry, but I don't know when there would be a better time. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one, right? Yeah, okay, I know. Jeez. Anyway, I wanted to talk about these ancient teachings and what I've found in studying them. Now, it's not a academia, intellectual thing at all. You can study like that, but it comes through the application of these ancient teachings and these writings and becoming what you are studying. Okay. Without the application of these teachings, you're not going to get anywhere. A lot of people, I study blah, 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 blah. No one's holier than anybody else. Everybody has the divine spark within. Everybody is essential to this whole unit. Everybody. This cannot be bought. So if somebody tries to charge you for this, no, don't, then it's wrong. And if somebody tries to charge you to climb up the ladder and belong and get the knowledge, it can't be bought. It can't be taught. It can be earned, and it can be learned. But I'm not going to teach you. I'm going to learn with you because I'm still studying. And what I found is these near-death experiences, these out-of-body experiences, and these ancient teachings that are the foundation of all mankind's religions. You will see it in the New Age movement and the New Thought movement. We don't worship Helena Blavatsky. Some people do, but that's on them. But she wrote down these teachings. She's one of the most important writers of the last 2,000 years because of the teachings that came through in The Secret Doctrine and Isis Unveiled and all that. But listen, you can find these teachings with Aristotle and Plato in the Vedas and the Upanishads. It is not just and is not soul, and it belongs to no one individually, but all of us together. Okay, these teachings. I wanted to tell you the three main objectives of Theosophy, because I'm thinking if we can try to apply these, maybe we would have a, I don't know, happier life. I know I have since I've begun to study them, and I find that there's little division and much more unity. And it feels kind of like what the people are coming back from the near-death experiences. It feels, I go, oh, I recognize that. I see that. I feel that. So anyway, the three main objectives of Theosophy are, and forgive me as I have to read my cue card because I want to get this right for you. Number one is the unity of man without distinction of race, color, religion, or social position. Number two, the serious study of the ancient world religions for the purpose of comparison and the selection therefrom of universal ethics. And number three, the third objective, is the study and the development of the latent divine spark, power, existence in man. It's in you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The divine spark is within you. It is closer than your own breath. Okay? You have this. You don't need anybody to teach you. You don't need to go into any building. You don't need to pay anybody. It's here. Now, there's lots of books that I study and read, and I've been on the wrong track a few times. You'll feel it. You'll know it. It's out there. And I want you to know that I think, just looking at what I see in our world, maybe it's time that we tear down the walls of our religion that separates us. And why don't we take a look at the foundation that unites us? Why don't we look at the similarities between all of us and understand that oneness? Because that's what we are. And I want to thank you for joining me. And I love you. Thank you very much. And I'll see you again.